Brought to you by the newest Faro's Lounge Kickstarter, the AracKnight. Chapter 1, the comic, the textbook. We're here writing the sequel. The AracKnight Returns, 2 pages a day, 2 pages per class. However long it takes to mine these old issues for ideas that we can twist, reboot, exploit, and cheapenly distress while making our own Spider-Man masterpieces. I got into comics to write Spider-Man. Can't get Marvel to hire me, so you just make it yourself. Produce it through my own crazy vision, along with my other original comics and art books and coffee table books for the modern-day warlord. So let's get to it, shall we? You know how we do it. Let's rope it around. We have now entered 1974 in the Spider-Man lore. Where we left off, Spider-Man was fighting with the Vulture. We even have notes for our next 2 pages. So we'll do this issue, and then we'll finish out 1973 in the team-up. We'll do the next 2 issues of team-up, which has Spider-Man and Captain Marvel. Spider-Man and somebody else. Then, I believe 129 is the debut of the Punisher. We retcon Chapter 4 in our story, where instead of just being a random sniper, we're going to make that sniper Frank Castle. We'll bring in Frank Castle in as a police sniper to our, we're going to make him a good old-fashioned fucking cop. SWAT cop in our universe. So, let's see where we left off with pages 11 and 12 last time. We had just as Commissioner Stacy begins to fall unconscious to his fate. We see a silhouette of what, remember, Commissioner Stacy was knocked out of the helicopter, out of his police copter, by the Sandman, who landed on the copter, and busted through like the T-1000 in Terminator, reforms his body. Get out. All right, Spider-Man swings off and catches him. We were teasing, of course, the death of Commissioner Stacy, since he's already dead in our comic books here. We see the Angel is Spider-Man who catches the Commissioner, who lands unconscious in his grasp. Close-up on Spider-Man looking upon the unconscious Commissioner with an almost admirable glance. Spider-Man lands by the side of the Sky Bridge, along the police encampment where he drops off the Commissioner. We see cops scanning the aerial developments while also attempting to line up sharpshooters to take shots at the Sandman and the Vulture. Medics, I've got the Commissioner. Spider-Man. Evening, soldiers. What are we dealing with? Medics collect the Commissioner in the background while Spider-Man converses with the cops. He grabs a pair of high-end binoculars to view the villains. 2 of them out there. One's a shapeshifter, the other one's got a flight suit shooting razor blades. He hit the dirigibles, knocked out the radio. The mayor's sending backup drones, but we're all ears here. Close-up on Spider-Man, looking cool and heroic like Rocky, showing off with the cops as he tosses the binoculars behind his back and sets off for the fight. Damn the radios. Signal your men. Tell them to pull back. I've got this. Cool action shot as Spider-Man shoots a web towards the bridge beams and takes off into the fight. Alright, it's a badass little page 11. Spider-Man lands at the center of the bridge just as the Sandman is coming in for a landing, his body morphing from the spilling, slowing, and eventually into his human form. Welcome to Empire City. Some things have changed at your last visit. For one, your boss is dead. Spider-Man takes a few web blasts at the Sandman, but they go through his form like a ghost. And if you plan on joining him, may I suggest not taking pot shots at the Commissioner? Sandman takes his full form and charges at Spider-Man like a rhino. As Spider-Man prepares to tackle the Sandman, his spider sense suddenly goes off. So it's a battle of chicken, my friend. Well, Toro, then. I should warn you, though, I throw these... Right before Spider-Man can competently smash the Sandman, the Vulture sneak attacks Spider-Man with a lariat-style clothesline, literally turning Spider-Man inside out. SFX of the hit and impact. Hey, manfish. For anyone who's ever lost their shirt betting football, there's the cardinal rule whenever your man is about to score. Always beware the Vulture. Oh, it's a little fantasy football term, and I got it into my fucking Spider-Man story. And as Spider-Man is still floating in midair from the impact of the sneak attack hit, the Sandman adds fuel to the fire, but locking his sandy granite arms onto Spider-Man's neck to give him an RKO-style neckbreaker maneuver to really double up the smash impact. And then, the RKO out of nowhere. Boom! And to finish him off, as Spider-Man is reeling in pain on the ground, the Vulture lands on him boots first into his abdomen for a double stomp smash, literally slending blood and vomit out of Spider-Man's mask with such a brutal hit. And to close it off, we arrange you We arranged to have you taste last night's dessert. And to close it off, we arranged to have you taste last night's dessert. So I like that. Let's get to page 13. Again, we're just doing this straight style right here. And then we're going to separate all the pages from separate pages for new files. Once we shrink it, right now we have it nice and big for the visual aid. These are about 14, 15 font, 16 maybe even. We'll shrink it down to 12, maybe even 11 for the finished file. Because you'll see, I printed it this big and it looked awful. And you get too many fucking pages, it makes the price go up. Shrink this font down, you shrink about 10, 15 pages off this bitch. All right. Today's assignment, pages 13 and 14, we're going to go through at least 4 comic books to find what we need. If we don't, we'll keep going until it's all over. All right, see what we have in our notes so far. Sandman and Vulture will leave Spider-Man alive to send a ransom message to the cops in Maya. We want to sit down. We want you to deliver a message. You still conscious? Dr. Harrow will be working on subjects as well as the other scientists who are safe and working on one of Dr. O's old labs and his secret luxury hideout provided to the Sandman and Vulture, who are also using the scientists to help with their powers and enhancements. The Sandman needs Harrow and the other scientists to help him harness his natural form. His monstrous curse is that he can't stay in solid form long enough without complete concentration, which gives him some depth and anger to relate to. They could be working on subjects like Hammerhead and the Kangaroo. He will then take on the Vulture and the Sandman and lose, but instead of killing him, they will beat the shit out of him and use him to send a message to the police and mayor about the demands. All right, we know that part already. We want to sit down and we'll spare your life with privilege. All right, we got to that part already. There's no third party who hired Sandman and Vulture. As it turns out, they are independently making their move, which we'll reveal right now. Spider-Man then goes in first, like a la Rocky 3. He'll be successful on the offensive, then they get the upper hand. They tag team, beat the shit out of him, and the cops are blocked off. It'll be Norman Osborn who makes the save. So we're going to need another fight. Spider-Man will be forced or even saved at some point by Norman Osborn. They'll, of course, have to form an unholy alliance in order to stop the Vulture and the Sandman, after their abilities as a tag team, keep beating the shit out of Peter. Spider-Man will be left for dead, about to be wiped out, and it'll be Norman who saves him. We keep writing this over and over again. Their Joker and Batman moment, more secrets. Kingpin or Nick Fury, we got into that. We have Jameson hiring his own mercs to go with Spider-Man, which you've already brought into. I like that. Jameson needs those scientists to help cure his son. By the end of the story, recruited by Nick Fury. I like that. Starting the Avengers are going after the Hulk. Inclusion of the Moon Gen, Lyra, Atlantis, Cleveland Memorial. Probably save all that for Army of Menfish. I think we're going to save all that for the Captain America story. But you never know. Keep it in the notes for now. All right, so what we have here is Sandman and Vulture just fucking beat the living shit out of Spider-Man. He thought Sandman was going to go one-on-one. He underestimates the Sandman. Vulture fucking sneaks in, so it's 2-on-1. And they just get the jump on him. They just double stomped him in the stomach. He's fucking throwing up. Let's set up our page and we'll do some mining. Sandman holds up a crumpled Spider-Man. While the Vulture opens up a a box. Opens up a box. The small hologram. While the Vulture pulls out a box with the Sinister 6 logo on it, like Spectre. Well, Sandman holds him up, so it'll be the Vulture that does the taunting. Well, since you're not dead, We've got a message. We've got a message we need you to deliver. Well, since you're not dead, we've got a message we need you to deliver, and we shall spare your life for the privilege. Privilege. We shall spare your life for the privilege. Well, since you're not dead, we've got a message for you we need you to deliver. We shall spare your life for the privilege. All right, so let's have the Sandman first say. Hey, manfish. Like Sandman's kind of dopey. He's called him manfish. Or like instead of Spider-Man, hey, manfish. You still conscious? Hey, manfish. You still conscious? Well, since you're not dead, we've got a message we need you to deliver. And we shall spare your life for the privilege. This time. Close up on the box as the vulture opens it up to reveal a holographic final message from Dr. O before his takedown in the previous novel. You see the hologram of the Doctor almost creeps Spider-Man out as he struggles to maintain consciousness while held in the vice-like grip of the Sandman. We can even show the Sandman's grip begin to loosen a little bit. Good doctor left us a message. The good doctor left us a message. Said you and your fellow pigs. Said you and your fellow pigs were coming. Said you and your fellow pigs were coming for his kibs and vittles. His bits and vittles. His bits and vitals. The good doctor left us a message. Said you and your fellow pigs were coming for his bits and vitals. For his bits and vittles. Well, I don't call it vitals, call it vittles. Because he would, they talk in, villain speak. I don't care if it's not a word. The good doctor left us a message. Said you and your fellow pigs were coming for his bits and vittles. Executed his backup protocols. Tell your mayor we have Dr. Harrow and executed his backup protocols. Who are you working for? We have Dr. Harrow. and his colleagues. They are safe and sound. They are safe and sound and not for sale. Not for sale. Who are you working for? And a creepy close up, we see the sandy granite like grip begin to crackle and loosen on Spider Man's neck, just as the vulture uses his rather sharp fingernail, talon like fingernail to take a swab of the blood coming out of Spider Man's exposed mouth. SFX, tiny SFX of the swabbing. What that creepy sound. You kind of want your letter to pick that up, that creepy sound. Who are you working for? It's not swabbing. Swab the deck, you. Who are you working for? Independent contractors. And like our predecessor, independent contractors. And once again, with only one demand, against one consequence. Independent contractors, with only one demand, against one consequence. And the Sandman will come in with, we want to sit down. We want the dock back. We know you guys are hiding them. We want to sit down. We want the dock back. We know you guys are hiding them, and we want them delivered. Independent contractors, with only one demand, against one consequence. We want to sit down. We want the dock back. We know you guys are hiding them. We know you guys are hiding them in some deep freezer. We know you guys are hiding them in some deep freezer or something. He told us your plans. So what do we do here? That was the close-up. We want to sit down. We want the dock back. We know you guys are hiding them in some deep freezer or something. He told us your plans. Granite-like grip. The sandy granite grip, okay. Effects of the swabbing. Alright, he told us your plans. So I like this kind of shot. Let's do this kind of shot. Released from the Sandman's grip. Spider-Man falls back to the ground, almost slumped into a kneeling position as he tries to gather himself. We see the two shadows of the Vulture and the Sandman flanking him from both sides. Representing their victory and temporary dominance over the scene. Oosh. Let's do those real quick. We did those over the scene. I like this. Dr. O is dead. Dr. O is dead. I was there. Your asshole boss died in my arms. Your asshole boss died in my arms after he tried to swallow my heart. Dr. O is dead. I was there. Your asshole boss died in my arms after he tried to swallow my heart. You're both too late. Let's try this one more time. Let's try this one more time, manfish. Let's try this one more time, manfish. You either deliver the doc. You either deliver the doc, whatever box you're keeping him in, or we'll tear this city apart. We'll tear this castle apart. Or we'll tear this castle apart, building by building. We'll tear this castle apart brick by brick. Drop the whole bloody thing. No. You either deliver the doc in whatever box you're keeping him in. Now, let's have the Sandman say this one. Okay. Let's try this one more time, man-fish. You either deliver the dog, in whatever box you're keeping him in, or we'll tear this castle apart brick by brick and drop the whole bloody thing back into the ocean. And drop the whole bloody thing into the ocean. I will tear this castle apart brick by brick. We'll tear this floating castle apart brick by brick and find him our bloody selves. Find him our bloody selves. Let's try this one more time, manfish. You either deliver the dog in whatever box you're keeping him in, or we'll tear this floating castle apart brick by brick and find him our bloody selves. Silent shot as Spider-Man gathers his breath and sees they have left him on the bridge by himself. With nothing but a small trail of sand behind them. Tear this floating castle apart brick by brick and find them our bloody selves. Drop this whole fucking thing. Drop this whole fucking thing into the ocean. Where you can join Atlantis. Where you can join Atlantis. Drop this whole fucking thing into the ocean. Or we'll tear this floating castle apart brick by brick and find them our bloody selves. Drop this whole fucking thing into the ocean. Where you can join Atlantis. That we have. Spider-Man holds his arm up across his face with an almost sudden fear as a police copter comes back into the scene to pick him up. I like that. SFX of the copter and flashlight and spotlight hitting Spider-Man directly in the face. All right. Silent shot as Spider-Man gathers his breath and sees they have left him on the bridge by himself, with nothing but a small trail of sand behind them. Spider-Man holds his arm across his face with an almost sudden fear as a police copter comes back into the scene. Pick him up. Let's see what notes we used here. You still conscious, Dr. Harrow. We got a good line here. I need a line here to close this page. Spider-Man holds his arm up across his face with an almost sin. Like the idea is that you got that silent shot. Panel 5 is like him just coming to, catching his breath. Like these two just beat the shit out of him, and then fuck with him, and then left. They just left. Not goodbye, not see you later. Where you can join Atlantis. Where you can join Atlantis. Silent shot as Spider-Man gathers his breath and sees they have left him on the bridge by himself, with nothing but a small trail of sand behind them. When he looks up, it's almost like it's like a flinching fear. Spider-Man flinches, holds up his arm across his face with an almost sudden fear as a police car comes back into the scene to pick him up. All right. Just need a line here, and then we'll move these notes to page 14. To this day, I'll always be a fan of pro wrestling. Trials, the dramas, the melodrama, the mayhem, and the melodrama. Where the bad guys come into the kingdom, stomp around like spoiled giants till the night returns to town and slays the bloody beasts. They sit here and wait. They sit here and wait for that supposed healing factor to kick in. I am reminded, as I sit here and wait for that supposed healing factor to kick in, with that metallic taste of my radioactive blood, providing no source of thirst quenching. To this day, I'll always be a fan of pro wrestling, the mayhem and the melodrama, where the bad guys come into the kingdom and stomp around like spoiled giants. Till the night, to the hallowed night, returns to town and slays the bloody beasts. As I sit here and wait for that supposed healing factor to kick in, with that metallic taste of my radioactive blood providing no source of thirst quenching. All I can think of now is the concussion. All I can think of now, as the concussion starts to plateau. As I sit here and wait for that supposed healing factor to kick in, with that metallic taste of my radioactive blood providing no source of thirst quenching. All I can think of now, as the concussion starts to plateau, is who is going to be a tag team partner. Is who is going to be my tag team partner. Because that was always the thing. The bad guys come to town, beat the shit out of the hero. And the AracKnight Returns to slays the bloody beasts. As they sit here and wait for that supposed healing factor to kick in, with that metallic taste of my radioactive blood providing no source of thirst quenching. All I can think of now as concussion starts to plateau is who is going to be my tag team partner. He's trying to have fun, but he did just get his ass handed to him. Let's move our notes. And at some point, we will need the Sandman to reveal his problem. And more than likely, we gotta have a problem for the Vulture as well, unless the Vulture's just the Sandman's buddy coming to flank him. Maybe Spider-Man figures out a way to turn them against each other. If he can't beat them with a tag team partner, or his uneasy, unholy alliance with Green Goblin, aka Norman Osborn. So we have a good page here. Who's going to be my tag team partner? Spider-Man just got his ass kicked. They're giving him their demands, what they want. They made their presence known. We want Dr. O. Deliver him to us, or we're going to fuck this city up. You see, we have the power to do it. So now I got to get to, will they answer the ransoms? Will they call the bluff? We had last time where the Chameleon said he was going to sabotage the Mars colony, and he went and tried to do it. Spider-Man saved the day, and he took the blame. Because Chameleon dressed up as Spider-Man in order to get the blame for it. All right. Now let's do some mining, and then we'll do page 14, and we are done for the day. Let's see what we got here from the Vulture. The Vulture apparently killed somebody, and now he's trying to kill Mary Jane when we left off here, coming into the year 1974. Vulture and Spider-Man battled up into the air. Of course, Spider-Man just has just a little bit of web left. But the problem is, every time he fights the Vulture, they always go through this. They fly high up into the sky, they play chicken, Spider-Man drops down. So we can't keep doing that. I'm pretty sure they did that in the fucking movie where he fights the Vulture. So we can't keep doing that. Can't rip that part out. Trying to get himself killed. Spidey goes splat. He's got to pull out of this. Webbing's his only chance. There's something else. He's got to work. Shoots himself a nice little web. We've done this before. We did this in the last issue with the web catch. All right. Oh boy. 10 seconds later, I run out of web fluid. So he was essentially on fumes. All right. No murdered girl outside the apartment, Mary Jane Watson. Mary Jane, of course, is scared because the Vulture's going to kill her. There's some other chick that he's going after. Some cute chick with glasses. They fought into the sky. Why did he kill that girl? The Vulture's never done anything without reason, no matter how insane it seemed at the time. All right. She must have just freaked out. That Joker. And we got this guy behind him. Is this the Vulture pretending to be a janitor? Yeah, because his Spidey sense just went off. You're Dr. Shout, aren't you? A friend of mine studied organic mutation under you last semester. An entertaining course. I wish the trustees had allowed me to continue it. Ah, well, as the French say, such is life. Now, we know that's the Vulture. That's fucking Vulture in disguise, right? Little Uncle Ben. Flash, he sees me. He sees Flash and Mary Jane. They're kind of hanging out now. Busy, busy, busy. Let's go get a Coke. I believe this is where we first meet Gloria Grant. That's not Gloria Grant. Looking for a girl. That's what they all say. Check on the murdered girl. The girl in the biolab, Christine Murrow. And Gloria Jenkins. Take the glasses off Christine. They're twins. Unless they're just pretending to be somebody. You mean to stand there and tell me the Vulture was on your campus, you didn't get a single photo? Which one of us is the bigger idiot? Get out, Parker! Trouble, Pete? Ugh, enough with the TikTok stupid shit. Get out of here with this. All right. Ned leads Pete, the photographer's friend. You want me to steer a story your way? All right. So, get some information from Ned Leeds. Obviously, he's swinging around the Meatpackers district. The morgue back issue file. Vulture is still in jail. Mouthpiece Moylan, one of the more notorious informers. It's called Mouthpiece Moylan. Why would people tell him anything if he's a fucking goddamn drunk? So Spider-Man beats up. I like when they show the detective work. It's always fun because you got to put all this kind of shit in your stories. You got to make it interesting. You know, like what's the best part of Batman Begins when he grabs that cop? Where were the other drugs hidden? I don't know. I swear to God. Swear to me. All right, so he's swinging around, fuzzing around the waterfront. Something around Pier 20 recalled. He saw a ship. The Dusseldorf out of West Germany's docked only 3 days ago. It's been completely cleared by customs. He's going in as Peter Parker, photographer. The Longshoremen's Union, he beat that longshoreman to death over that fucking card game. Coming from the rear of the alley, the spider sense, the vulture is the spider sense that tingling up a storm that means danger is near. Somebody just got knocked out, struck by a Hulk or a vulture. Now shit's getting thrown at him. Oh, and there he is. Your luck has betrayed you, boy. For tonight, you die. We talk about this vulture. I don't want you to do anything rash, something you'll regret later. There's nothing to discuss, boy. This is the second time I've found you snooping. And my friend, that's 2 times too many. Yow! Boom, into the ocean. Oh, he doesn't know it's Spider-Man. He sees the photographer. Like most New York caterers, Myron Feisberg is more or less gregarious. During the course of the ride to the waterfront of Mary Jane's apartment, he listened with interest to the edited summary of Peter's troubles, and then... So listen, I'll wait for you here, Sonny, and get that girl and hurry back. Thanks, Mr. Feisberg. He was in the stink. Trading clothes. Roomie of Glory against the girl that was killed. Yeah, I know her. She's that roomie of hers. We're okay. It was always trading clothes. So it's the same girl. All right. Taking you there myself. All right, and the Vulture's going to try and take him straight out of the fucking cab. He's going to fuck this cab driver up. They're fighting. He's got to switch into Spider-Man. Vulture doesn't have an opportunity to do more than bluster. Spider-Man, deliberate precaution. He's going to save Mary Jane. Mary Jane's looking hot like a hippie. This is the 1970s. Pretty sure Vietnam is still going on. Nixon hasn't pulled out yet, so they got the dancing around a trick, doodling, gibbering trick when she's protected on the Spider-Man's web. Oh, you can involve Mary Jane and the Vulture. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Was that the truth or just talk? Sure, you can count on me, Spider-Man. If there's one thing I want right now, it's distance between... There we go, Miss Gloria Jenkins. I want you and Dr. Shallot. Don't have any money. And you have found me, dolt. I promise you it'll cost you your life. Dr. Shallot, no! Don't be dumb, Christine. He's far too gone for reason. Spider-Man poisoned her mind against me. Let her betray me as the others have. I thought she was my friend, but you can never be sure about a woman. When she promised to help me, I decided to let her live, but now I've... Shut up, will you? I had trouble getting back to the Dusseldorf. What are you mumbling about? I'm mumbling about this pigeon brain. How you don't know how hard it was to convince the captain I needed it. But in the end, he believed me, so happy birthday, handsome. Poison, you poisoned me. If the world only knew. What the hell were they doing? Oh! The enzyme which acts as an antidote to the biochemical mutation you caused in yourself, causing you to change whether you like it or not, back into Dr. Clifton Shallot. By the time he wakes up, he'll be in prison, Miss Murrow. Maybe you belong in there with him. What do you mean? Yes, I've done a lot of thinking about this. I got it worked out. Tell me when I'm wrong, Christine. You and the doctor were involved in a biomutation project. A project that involved the wing outfit of the real Vulture, which you requisitioned from the state prison authorities. Something snapped in Dr. Shallot's head because the college trustees canceled one of his courses. At any rate, he decided to become the Vulture. And so he stepped into this mutation device and underwent a transformation. A transformation that did him for what no amount of expertise could do for the true Vulture. For a short time, the wings were part of his body. And he could fly and realize dreams he knew he possessed. He never knew he possessed. There was only one thing standing in his way. You. You knew his secret because you could betray him, and so he went to kill you, but because of the similarity between you and your roommate, one innocent girl died. and another who saw the mirror became a second target. Shallot found he could reverse the transformation, but it required certain chemicals in larger and larger doses. Finally, no longer able to buy the chemicals, probably because his research budget ran out, he took to stealing them. And that's when I realized who he was. I came on after he'd beaten a seal into near death. He said something to me, told me he knew who I was, but I was in my civilian identity. And since I'd talked to Shallot earlier in the day, in that identity, I knew it had to be him. Pretty clever, huh? So tell me, Christine, what's your excuse for letting him kill me? I don't understand. How could I stop him? If I'd said anything, he would have killed me. So instead, you let him try to kill someone else. That's really sweet of you, Christine. A friend of mine had the same problem, but she resolved it. Too bad you didn't. Because, lady, it's like I said, if you help guys like him with your silence, then there really isn't much difference between a murderer and those who really stand by and do nothing. Holy shit. Forgot about this fucking issue. That was pretty goddamn powerful. Okay, so I got an idea. For our notes. Sandman needs... Right. They need Dr. Harrow for Dr. O. One of the doctors... Oh, I like this. Is needed by the Sandman to, of course, find a way to stay in solid form. The Vulture could need the other doctor for a transmutation because he can have something similar to the doctor, to Dr. O, in his wings, and that his wings may be genetically attached due to the nature of his survival from his attempted murder. See, we showed video when they exposed Mayor Osborn trying to kill all these people that built Empire City. We showed quick deaths of all these people. Death of the Sandman. We showed him fall into the fucking sand thingy. And we showed the Vulture being like sucked away into like a fucking vacuum. We can come back in one of these issues and tell his origin, like the beginning of the story. We can tell the Vulture's origin. The idea is that they would both need these doctors. You know, we got to go into our pictures file at some point. They would both need these doctors. But they need Dr. O for either like the specs or the actual fucking operation. He's orchestrating all this. Dr. O sent them a message with instructions for what to do, the backup protocols. He was coming for him. He knew Spider-Man was coming for him. He knew the good guys were coming for him. He made this last message to his fucking henchmen. Kraven's already dead. So the idea is we take out these two guys. So Dr. O's in our story already. The Lizard's in our story. Green Goblin's here in our little universe. Bringing in the Vulture. We had Kraven and Chameleon already. So all we would really have left would be Mysterio and what was the other original OG? Fuck is it? Electro. Right? So we did Kraven. We killed him in the first one. Dr. O, Vulture, and Sandman. Yeah, the original Sinister Six. We'll save them for the next one. Oh shit, we may even bring them in here. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, that's part of our notes. They need Dr. Harrow for Dr. O, but the other two are needed by the Sandman. One's needed by the Sandman. One's needed by the Vulture. Very good, very good. Didn't get rid of that fucking Atlantis device there. All right. That. Put that in 15. So really quick, what did we say these other doctors were into? Let's get back to the beginning of the story real quick. Okay, we had Dr. Harrow. We know him. He's the brain surgeon guy. Jameson. Rory Thaxton, the controversial yet master-level technician of biochemistry. So he's the one working on the Sandman. The other one, hematologist. Hematologist, he's blood. Jorgensen's blood. Hematologist is blood. Hans Jorgensen. So he was the one that fucking Morbius was going after. All right, so Jorgensen, the hematologist, he'll be the one coming to work on Sandman. Biochemist, of course, coming to work on. They're working on fucking both of them. They need both their skills. These three men together. You men are the best in your field. Brought together. Brought together. The Master Race, the Sinister Six, the cult, the whole thing. We got to really dive deep into this shit. All right. Biochemistry and hematologist. Let's get that down here in our notes so we don't have to always keep going back to the beginning. Thaxton is biochemistry. Biochemistry. Jorgensen is hematology. Blood. The doctor needs the three of them together. The best in their respective fields. It is an honor to work with you fine gentlemen. We have to get the doctor back with his minions and find a mouthpiece for the living brain to communicate with. So at some point, we have to get the doc free from Osborn. And we can, oh, this is cool where we're going right now. We can have Osborn use Spider-Man to lure in Sandman and Vulture in order to actually reunite them with the Doctor, in order to come to an agreement over how to use the Doctor's symposium. He's putting together these brilliant minds, genetics and everything, and Osborn's going to say, I need these guys together. Let's make a deal. So Osborn and Spider-Man can capture Sandman and Vulture, and then he can ransom them to the Doctor. Oh, God, yes. Fighting together as a tag team, Spider-Man and Osborn will be triumphant over Sandman and Vulture. And Osborn turn on Spider-Man and reveal he wants them reunited with Dr. O in order to make a deal with the Doctor, use their codes, use the scientists and their results for his benefit as well as the Doctor's. Or he can let them get together with the intention of stealing their finished products after their success. I thought about making a deal with the doctor, but I knew he would only work at his best when he is openly and truly defiant. Therefore, we had to stage their victory. Oh! Oh! It's like wrestling. Oh, it's so much fun writing fucking comic books. Oh, I love how it starts to unfold. You see how it unfolds as you write the story? You start layering it like a fucking onion. So that's what we want to get to. We want to get to the idea of Spider-Man almost getting killed by these two motherfuckers. Osborn saving his ass, bringing him back to his lab, using them to lure those two into the lab, traps in the lab, whatever traps he gets, whatever goblin fucking traps. They go after and fight those two, take them down. But then Osborn will sabotage it in order to get them together with the Doctor so that he could put beacons, whatever, homing beacons on all of them and steal their finished product. You know, they're going to transfer Dr. Octopus's brain into the body of either the lizard or perhaps Spider-Man. I remember I didn't like the Kingpin wanted to do that. The Kingpin was going to fucking drain Spider-Man's life force to put into his like son. His son was comatose. Like his son was a fucking weirdo. Richard Fisk became the Rose. That stupid fucking storyline. We could do a twist on that. We'll see. But it is a possibility. He could want Spider-Man's body. He could admire Spider-Man. He wanted to kill Spider-Man. Maybe even Osborn has a code, and the deal could be that he maybe he does cut a deal with Osborn, and the trade for Osborn is Spider-Man. Thing is, he wants a body. He needs a body. Yours. Osborn will either turn on Spider-Man or perhaps save him in the end as a twisted way of paying back the hit on his parents. That could be some twisted shit. Or a redemption. Can still play around. I love taking notes. Taking notes. Could we involve the Punisher? Can we put the Punisher's family into this fucking story? Thompson Robertsons? Alright, so we left off. They left Spider-Man on the bridge. He said he's going to need a tag team partner. We've been talking about what's going to happen with the tag team partner. Osborn more than likely is going to turn. Now the trope, everything obvious would be he'd team up with Osborn. Osborn, of course, would turn on him. That is the obvious thing, which is why we can't do the obvious thing, but we have to write it more interesting than just saying the obvious is him and Osborn will be forced to team up, take out Vulture and Sandman. And of course, Osborn will turn on him by cutting a deal with the Doctor. Or we could just literally have fucking do some Vader fucking Palpatine shit where Osborn's behind Spider-Man's ear. You know, maybe when Commissioner Stacy does get taken out, Spider-Man can flip out and turn to the dark side. And in the end, Osborn maybe cuts a deal, and just as Spider-Man thinks Osborn's going to turn on him, Osborn turns back again, Joker style, and really does kill Dr. O this time. And the Vulture, and the Sandman. Saving Spider-Man's life, maybe in the end, where he can even say, like, you know, this is payback. I told you, what happened with your parents wasn't personal. I will never expect you to forgive me. I'll cover this. We're even now. Something fucking twisted. But you just think Osborn's going to leave him for dead. Osborn can save his ass one more time. And say it'll always come down to you and me. The only advice I could offer is to leave Empire City. Otherwise, you'll always come after me, and I will always retaliate. Oh, I want a nice twisted ending here. I'll fucking tell him he'll just leave Empire City. Leave Empire City. What happened with your parents wasn't personal. It was business. I will never expect you to forgive me. But as far as I'm concerned, we're even. A life for a life. No, because it's two lives. We're even. We're even. Leave Empire City because your code will never allow you to forgive me. And I will always retaliate. So we can make him fucking leave in the next one. Spider-Man v Superman, if we ever write another one. Got to see how well it takes to write this one. All right, we got some great notes. Now we've got to get to all these notes. Takes us back to page 14. We wrote a great page 13, coming off the notes from last time. You got to get a tag team partner. So what we got to do now is got to talk about some ransom. We got to do a bridge to the next scene where Spider-Man, of course, will fight to these two again, and they will nearly kill him. Or they could be setting a trap. Spider-Man has to go meet up with the commissioner, I'm thinking now, in the hospital. The doctor, nobody has the doctor. All right, they got to do a conference at the hospital. So when we came in, that police helicopter came in, picked him up. Let's transition to the hospital where the commissioner's healing up and there's a conference there. We'll throw a little Gene DeWolf in there. Hell, we'll throw Frank Castle in there. All right. So let's see what we can do here. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we come a railroad back around to get the rest of our notes here. We'll be going through the debut of the Punisher. So let's have Frank Castle. Castle will be the sharpshooter who saves Spider-Man's life. As a matter of fact, let's make sure we get that in there. While we're doing this, while we have our class open here, before I forget. AracKnight 4. See, it's already shrunken down. Frank Castle is getting into our story. This is the AracKnight Chapter 4, which is going to be on sale soon. We'll have it in production soon, too. We have Chapter 3 is now in production. I just want to fix that part. Don't tell me. Another goddamn robot. Same science you despise be used to save you. This castle of corruption, we're getting close. All right. I'll become boom, bang. We pan out a bit to see the now lifeless body of Dr. O slumping into a pile of circuits, tentacles, and exposed brain matter. As we see, he has been taken out by a sniper shot. Commissioner sees the base of the original, which has Captain Stacy on the speaker, standing alongside a sharpshooter with a smoking gun. They took out some doctor from the exposed outside wall. So, as Spider-Man is about to talk to the senator, he pukes. All right, so. Nice shot, Cat. Just throw it in here. Nice shot, Castle. Evening, Spider-Man. How's the high blood pressure? That's all I need right there. Nice shot, Castle. Standing alongside a sharpshooter with a smoking gun. Which we will reveal later on to be Frank Castle, aka the Punisher. Boom. Nice shot, Castle. Evening, Spider-Man. How's the high blood pressure? Commissioner, I just wanted to. He vomits. That's it. That's all I needed. All right, let me just make sure it's saved as a PDF. AracKnight 4, it'll be AracKnight here. Save. Overwrite. Yay! Frank Castle is in our fucking story. We could throw his fucking origin into this. His family could still be alive right now. All right, good shit. Huh. All right, just has to load. Huh. All right, we made the necessary change. See, isn't it fun to edit and go back and add some fucking cool characters into your universe? All right, back here. Let's do this shit. We'll railroad back over here, and we come back to the team up because we want a second perspective since there's a sequel. That'll be our running theme. If we write a third Spider-Man graphic novel, we go for 6 chapters, and we use 3 resources. All right? Basilisk. Even though I got to tell you, so far I'm not a fan of Marvel Team Up. I think the art kind of sucks. But we'll see. We'll see if they pull any sexy bitches out of here. Pretty much seems like they just used Spider-Man to kind of springboard other titles that aren't doing as well as Spider-Man. So we got Rick Jones here working with Captain Marvel. This was the guy that was hanging out with fucking Hulk when the bomb went off. And this guy was Bucky. He's everybody's pal. He's Rick Jones. Like, apparently Rick Jones is like that teenage version of Wouldn't You Love to Hang with the Avengers? On our way to San Francisco by now. All right, we're back. We're still in San Francisco. Beware the basilisk. You desire more detail? Well then, concentrate, Rick. Concentrate and allow my thoughts to swell within you. Let your mind's eye see the Alpha Stone. All right, so we got a MacGuffin. We got something to play with. Something to play with either later on. Remember, we have 5 chapters we're going for in the story. We got some thief here. Those bums back in the pen figure never get nowhere. And now I got me, Basil Elks, Basilisk, they called me, the legendary beast, whose glance could turn men into stone, because it was so fearsome while I was in such a slump. While I was such a schlump. Let's see them laugh at me now. I just stole the granddaddy of all emeralds. Ooh, we like the emeralds. We could do the vulture stealing an emerald gem, the Alpha Stone. Hold it, and I meant it. Visit his hours in this year. All right, we could steal rare gems and have them stealing rare gems, not for the money, but for the genetic experiments. These stones could be mystical. From Atlantis, even. We're still here on 14. Gotta get to that next page. The hospital. So let's see what we got here. Just trying to come up with some ideas here. All right. He takes me in and back to stir, permanently back to the jeers, the ridicule. No chance. I've been a loser too long. Nobody gonna laugh at me again. Nobody know how. Take me back to prison alive, copper. You shot the fucking stone. But instead, the stone erupts. Uh-oh. Turns him into Basil Elk still stands. But he is not the quaid same Basil Elk as before. Now he's Basilisk. Oh god, this is awful. Wine dies, he just turns him into fucking stone. What happened to me? My reflection in that antique mirror. Look at me, my clothes so tattered. Oh god, this is so bad. I'm gonna turn everybody to stone. Look, I'm gonna give myself a stupid looking outfit. I am Basilisk. 10 whole minutes to catch the last show. I couldn't tell Clint Eastwood from Linda Lovelace. Wow, look at this. They mentioned Linda fucking Lovelace in a Spider-Man story? Holy shit. Guess missing movies is one of the drawbacks of being Spider-Man. Either they've come up with a strange way of renovating the place. Alright, so we got Basilisk busting out of a museum. Basilisk will reign supreme. Peter's jumping in for the night. Spider-Man's in the fucking mood. Scrambling around the bushes. It's going to be Spider-Man taking on Basilisk. He's going to turn Spider-Man into stone, but Spider-Man avoids the stone shots and kicks him in the fucking face, gives him the old web in the fucking eyes. He shoots through the eyes. What do you say? I will succeed where the Kingpin, the Vulture, and the Green Goblin all failed. Look at this shit. There you fall, and you will not live to rise again. It appears the Basilisk will begin his career by destroying the famous Spider-Man. I like that. This idiot Rick Jones is still running around. He says, "Oh shit, I summon ye, Rick Jones. These my mega bands upon your wrist." Oh god, they just need shit for Rick Jones to do. So is Rick Jones Captain fucking Marvel now? Are we gonna throw these quantum bands in here as MacGuffies? The name is Marvel, you bug-eyed one. Captain Marvel. You are a cretin. Those beams from his eyes turned the sidewalk beneath me into some form of quicksand, pulling me down. I must concentrate my focus, my internal energies on levitation. Oh, this is awful. But we don't want to go in completely cynical. We got to give this a chance to see if we can mine this for ideas for our story. We did get the Sky Bridge from Team Up when they were fighting in San Francisco. The idea of using that what was it? Oh god, Thessaly, Game of Thrones. What was the name of that fucking town? Thratos. The Sky Bridge. So it'll bug me the whole fucking day if I don't go take a look at it. What does the Sky Bridge look like? Center of the bridge construction. Wow, this goes far back. Game of Thrones. Volantis, yes. Sorry. Look, when you're a writer, you're OCD. We know we're going to the hospital. We show the outside shot of the police hospital with a neon sign flanking it, showing a Now magazine. God, this serves me. Now magazine headline. Magazine headline about the emergence of Vulture and the Sandman. The deadly duo. The dynamic duo. We show the outside of the police hospital with a neon sign on the neon sign across a dirigible flanking it. Yeah, dirigible shows the news headline. I like that. Here we go. All right. Captain Marvel pursuing me. Holy shit. He's going to fuck Spider-Man up. He's trying to make a name for himself. He's never got Captain Marvel up his ass. The basilic's glance has solidified the air around me, holding me immobile, like a fly trapped in amber. Port like this, I cannot sustain my flight. Oh, God, just reminds me of a jackass. By the code of the Kree! Spider-Man's webbing has spun a net across to the street below. He's broken me full, but by breaking out of this prison, suffocating is the only thing I could do. So this is the idea of having Spider-Man give a little rub to Captain Marvel. Guess that makes us even for you saving my hide a few minutes ago, hero. The table begins countless light years from world you call Earth. Deep in that sector of the cosmos ruled by my mother race, the star-blessed Kree. It begins upon a great gleaming spacecraft, hurtling towards the heavens with most deadly cargo. Two brilliant gems. Their names would be unpronounceable to you, Spider-Man, but translated freely in your language, they would be called the Alpha and Omega Stones. All right, again, we can use this. Alpha and Omega Stones. Another dirigible is flying towards it with a headline reading Alpha and Omega Stones coming to the Empire. Question mark. See, we're having fun. See how we write as we mine? We've got dirigibles floating along. The deadly duo. No, actually, let's do better. Let's do a little Easter egg on the deadly foes of Spider-Man. The lethal foes of Spider-Man. Alpha and Omega Stones coming to the Empire. So we show the outside shot of the police hospital building with a neon sign across the dirigible flanking it, showing a Now magazine headline about the emergence of the Vulture and the Sandman, the lethal foes of Spider-Man. Another dirigible was flying towards it with a headline reading, Alpha and Omega Stones coming to the Empire. I like that, see? We used something from here. The ship was taking the gems to be destroyed in the heart of a distant sun when the incident occurred. One of the crewmen, mad by lust for the possessions of the stones, slew the guards and set about to steal them. He planned to escape the Kree ship in a small life craft, sell the gems on some far-flung world, and live in luxury for the rest of his days. Those, at least, were his intentions. I like this. He did not live long enough to carry them out. You see, Spider-Man, those gems would be obliterated for a reason. For powers such as they bestow is more than even a Kree can handle with impunity. The life craft was still in sight of the mothership when it exploded, brightening the heavens for an instant with the paroxysm of light. The gems were thought destroyed, but obviously they were not for time. They must have drifted through space and by the greatest coincidence landed here, upon your world. Somehow a short while ago, my Kree-bred senses detected the presence of one gem in the museum nearby, the Alpha Stone that supplies the basilic with his power. Apparently he's gone in search of the second gem, but must be allowed to possess it. Alright, so they gotta get this guy before he gets the gems. On the Upper West Side of the heart of New York's financial district, specifically Wall Street, a certain quiet construction site and its lonely watchman. Alright, Basilic is coming here to find the second gem buried in this site. Chalk it up to practice, Captain. See, the Alpha and Omega stones we could connect to Jameson's kid, the astronaut. We can connect to the Jameson's kid, and the idea is Jameson's kid could find those Alpha and Omega stones on the moon, one of which contains the Venom symbiote. Why am I saying this out loud? You say it out loud because you get ideas. You get ideas to put in your notes. That's why we write. Colonel Jameson could be bringing the stones back from his trip to the moon. One of the stones can be hosting the Venom symbiote, which attaches itself to Spider-Man. You never know. We may use it. Let's get back to our hospital. All right, we want to read this first. We want to get some here. These rays turn the steel neck of the crane into rubber, bending under my weight, only to snap forward again like a slingshot. The Omega Stone is not yours to own. Punches him in his fucking face. Send it here, never lay his hands on it again. The shame, the Alpha Stone, the eyes of Basilic will incinerate you first. Ask Johnny Storm. What are we going to say about Johnny Storm? Burning superheroes are impossible to extinguish. Ask Johnny Storm if you don't believe me. Keep him busy, Spider-Man. All right, so he's got to fight Spider-Man while fucking Captain Marvel's going to go dig up this fierce stone. So this is what men have died for. I can see why. It's so strangely beautiful, throbbing at my touch as if, by the 7 stars, the gem is growing so large I can no longer hold it. In some strange manner, the Omega Stone is reacting to my touch. Growing larger, still larger, feeding on my Kree energies, trapping me in its depth. And now he's in the atmosphere, and he's gone. Just made him fucking disappear? Holy shit. Not worth going after the Basilics, not with the second gem gone. Taking Captain Marvel with it. Somehow I don't think Marvel wanted to go, but what can I do to help him? What can I... See, again, you see what this bullshit is? This is to get you to read Spider-Man so that you go back and read what happens to Captain Marvel and disappear in that fucking gem. We'll learn the answer to that next issue, True Believer, when our wondrous web slinger... Oh, okay, so... I'm an asshole. They're going to continue this. He's got to go recruit Mr. Fantastic to help him save this prick. And they're going to end up somehow fighting the fucking mole people. Right? Is that what's happening here? The island metropolis called Manhattan? The Baxter Building? The whole world is doomed? All right. Hopefully they continue. If I like a continuous fucking story. Activated the electronic eye. Up. He's all tied up. He's got to fight the traps. Web Slinger, if by now you don't recognize Mr. Fantastic in my temples, that equipment you're destroying costs more than I want to think about. I'm in no mood for your humor, Spider-Man. If you're looking for the Human Torch, you've wasted your time. What happened here? In fact, everyone's gone. The Fantastic Four no longer exists. Holy shit. I'm still behind. I'm only up to issue 104. I'm thinking they're around 140 around this time, 150, so I'm behind. So I guess they break up. See, it's all spoiler alerts until I get fucking caught up. It's October, April Fool's Day. This is no joke, Web. See, 141 they're up to. I'm not that far yet. I gotta get caught up. This is no joke, Web Slinger. We had a difference of opinion over a personal matter. And by now, Johnny, Ben, my wife Sue have all gone their separate ways. Holy shit, I can't wait to get to 141 now. That's why I'm reading it. Get caught the fuck back up on Marvel lore. I'm sorry to hear that, Richards, but it doesn't change a thing. I didn't come here to see Johnny Storm. I came to see you. Me, what the devil for? Heaven knows why. All right. Starts with a gent named Captain Marvel. All right, so at least it continues the story. The Kree starship shot out 2 gems, landed on Earth. Some 2-bit heist man found the stone, became a supervillain Basilic. While I hassled with him, Got his hands on the Omega Stone, but then it made him fucking disappear. Basilic's left me holding the bag, and I'm standing here like a jerk off saying, look, help me, you fucking scientist. Look, Rich, I understand you must feel right now splitting up with your wife and your friends, but I guarantee sitting on your bright blue bottom ain't gonna make the rest of your life one iota better. All right, I like this. A good man has vanished, maybe died trying to protect this planet, trying to protect people like you. If you're not willing to do at least as much for him, then maybe you ought to pack it in. Dig yourself a nice little hole and... All right, look at this shit. I'll help, Spider-Man, but keep your voice down. Medusa's asleep in her quarters down the hall, and there's no need to drag her into this. Holy shit. Dude! Reed Richards is fucking Medusa. Now that just gave me a cool idea. Because I do other commissions, you know? You gotta do some Fantastic Four commissions. Oh, I like this. Well, first we do a Slave Leia. So I keep forgetting to do it. Slave Leia Crystal from the Inhumans with Lockjaw. And a frozen Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Also have an evil Mr. Fantastic Warlord with flanked by Medusa, as Reed has killed. Oh, I like it. Has killed Black Bolt and became new warlord of the Inhumans. Boom. That's just two covers I'm going to do for variants when I do variants of a Fantastic Four story. Okay, so we show that out front. All right. We pan inside to show Commissioner Stacy patched up in bed and surrounded by a doctor, by doctors, and several uniformed cops, as well as Porter Betty Brant. Should we have Betty Brant in there? So the commissioner will talk to them for a little bit. He will see a small gesture of web float past his window, indicating that he knows Spider-Man is out there. So he can dismiss his guests. This is good. I want a scene here where Spider-Man and the Commissioner talk strategy. We pan inside to show Commissioner Stacy patched in bed, surrounded by doctors and several uniformed cops, as well as reporter Betty Brant. Or should it be his daughter? Should we get Gwen as well as his daughter, Gwen Stacy? No, we don't want to throw her in there yet. As well as reporter Betty Brant. How are you, Commissioner? Stacy. It was a flesh wound. It was a flesh wound, Miss Brandt. It was a flesh wound, Miss Brandt. I'll be back on the stones. I'll be back on the stone come sunrise. And what do you intend to do? See, do we have a? We need a time jump here, right? Because no, no, we don't need the time jump. I need a time jump on the caption here. Caption across the panel reads. We want several hours later. We need several hours later. Is that what we want? Several hours later. 24 hours later. After several hours of recovery. After several hours of recovery. Meanwhile, I love meanwhile. I need meanwhile every time I do a caption or a new page. Meanwhile, after several hours of recovery, we panicked. Okay, how are you, Commissioner? It was a flesh wound, Miss Brent. I'll be back on the stones come sunrise. And what do you intend to do? About these new invaders to the Empire. About these new invaders to the Empire. I intend to show them a door, Miss Brent. I intend to show them a door, Miss Brent. Unless you have other ideas. You will see a small Commissioner Stacy. I intend to show them the door, Miss Brent. Unless you have other ideas. So they don't know about the ransom yet. They got Spider-Man to deliver the message. So he's got to go deliver the message. This is him delivering the message. Good, okay. I intend to show them the door, Miss Brent. Unless you have other ideas. Commissioner Stacy sees a small gesture of web float past his window, indicating that he knows Spider-Man is out there, so he can dismiss his guests. I'll have the full nature of our battle plan. I'll have the full nature of our battle plan once I've met with the mayor. of the full nature of our battle plan once I've met with the mayor. Then now we'll have the exclusive. And now we'll have the exclusive. As for tonight, leave me with my tea. Leave me with my tea. Someone get a hold of my daughter. Let her know I'm alive. Nah, we don't need to let her know I'm alive. That's too much. I'll have the full nature of our battle plan once I've met with the mayor. Then now we'll have the exclusive. As for tonight, leave me with my tea. Leave me with my tea. As for tonight, tell the nurse I need a fresh pot. Tell the nurse I need a fresh pot. And someone get a hold of my daughter. Boom! As everyone leaves, we see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. All right, we'll get caught up here in a sec. Let's finish out this story. Medusa's. I mean, see how it sets you off on that little rabbit hole of just naughty fucking covers. It's essentially Reed Richards starts like a fucking new Fantastic Four. I know at some point Torch and fucking Crystal are gonna break up. So what I like is the idea of I'm gonna do a cover where Reed Richards fucking takes out the Inhumans and becomes the new Inhuman fucking master. They can even have Thor's hammer or some fucking cool shit, some Inhumans fucking MacGuffins, and he's the new Black Bolt. We can have Black Bolt's head. I think I'll have Iago work on that one next. Oh yeah, fuck yeah. Come on, I have what we require in the lab. All right. Constructed this device when we first encountered the Kree's robot sentries. Oh. Now, I do remember reading this recently when they had to rescue the Thing. Thing was kidnapped and forced to fight gladiator battles. The Omega Stone leads to the center of the Earth. The city lights twinkle like fallen stars as the sleek silver skycraft called the Fantastic Car cuts a gleaming swath through the clutching darkness, carrying the fantastic Reed Richards and his wall-crawling passenger towards upstate New York. So that it's basically Spider-Man hanging out with Reed Richards. In fact, the only destination of the special subway route we'll be taking, there it is, Web Slinger, the tunnel to the Earth's core, almost destroyed in an explosion after the last time we used it, which is Fantastic Four 128, which I'm not up to yet. I'm on 104. I'm getting close. Passable enough for Earth to travel through it now. Assuming, of course, the laser torch mounted into the Fantastic Car's prow has no trouble clearing a path through the melted slag. Holy shit. I mean, this is cool ideas if we want to use this shit later on. Something with the center of the Earth. Omega stones, metal slag. Stuff we can play with. Essentially, we now have Reed Richards and Spider-Man going into the center of the Earth. Mention murder and subterranean, you're liable to give someone ideas. The inhabitants in the inner world. They live only to do the bidding of he who is most certainly responsible for what has happened to Captain Marvel. And if we don't want to show you the Captain Space, I suggest we do something about it and kick their monkey asses up and down the fucking mole man's fucking paradise. Carrying a weapon of some sort. What do we have? Moments later, interminable moments, the clenched-lipped heroes struggle against the vapors that swirl around him. Which means somebody farted. They're being carried like Ewoks to their fate, being delivered to the Mole Man in his mole kingdom, this ugly bastard. His strangely... All right, so this is the first time the Mole Man sees Spider-Man, which is always kind of cool when you're kind of viewing that for the first time. Fast enough to contain the Manny Pentagon building. What has he got fucking planned? Impressive, the granted, but the object is the Titanic cavern houses that quickly focuses one's attention. The Mole Man is building a fucking giant laser cannon using the body of Captain Marvel trapped inside a giant fucking gem. That's some sick shit, ladies and gentlemen, we got going on here. Could we do something here with the engine that runs Empire City? Something within the catacombs of Empire City, which could be the ruins of New York or DC or Mega City. Easter eggs where we can see the gigantic laser machines that run Empire City, perhaps even with slave labor, prisoners of war. Ooh, I like that. Dirty secrets exposed. You even have the Mole Man, these fucking people. I constructed this device many months ago, Richards, long before you and your accursed companions thwarted my lava shaft. Ooh, lava shaft. What's the plan? This will slice up the Earth's crust like a hot knife passing through lard. Holy shit. He's going to create mass panic at my command, cuts a burning path of devastation through cities, monuments, everything whose upper air worms mocked me. I've attempted this long ago and possessed the giant jewel required to make the cannon work. And now I got it. A jewel my mindless minions detected this very eve upon the surface. Imprisons Captain Marvel. This stupid bastard tossed those paralyzed fools into the magma pits, my obedient pets. They're tossed right into the magma. So Spider-Man saves the day, creates a fucking web for Reed Richards. Reed Richards, of course, extends his arms, expands his lungs, the paralyzing gas. Holding my breath or dying is a choice of no. So Spider-Man makes his little web mask. Anyone here cared to calculate the odds of surviving two, albeit powerful and resourceful superheroes surviving a battle against an almost infinite number of pint-sized potential assassins? Interesting writing. A shaft of pure energy. We got a shitload of crystals. A beam shatters. Looks like Molly's mini army's going to pieces. Energy beams. What the hell's going on here? Three of us. I was afraid it was him. Oh, shit! It's a bringback. Fucking Basilisk. So Basilisk is down here in the underground. He wants the fucking stone that Captain Marvel's trapped in. He's gonna fuck some shit up. He's got the other stone. It's sitting in his asshole. He jumps down to the bowels of the earth. He follows them down. It looks like the Mole Man's gonna fight Basilisk. And the prize at stake is Captain Marvel. It's a Captain Marvel on a fucking scaffold match, ladies and gentlemen, with Reed Richards and Spider-Man versus the Mole Man and Basilisk, the newest guy on the block. Will he be the big star? But then the Mole Man fights and he starts beating the shit out of Basilisk. So maybe the way that Spider-Man could win this is figuring out a way to turn all the villains against each other. Once Spider-Man figures out that he can't beat these villains all together, with the help of Uncle Ben and perhaps Commissioner Stacy, if he isn't killed in our story, he will turn all the villains against each other. Not in an instant trope scene, but in a slow, calculating way that almost flips the script and makes Spider-Man the villain in order to get his villains to destroy each other. See, that would make some sick shit. That'd be kind of a sick fucking ending. Because, like, the idea is he can't beat them. They're all going to turn on him, so he gets them all to fucking fight each other and kill each other. But he's got to do it through trickery. Like, he doesn't just, like, do it in one scene, like, at the end of the movie, like, do this big con, like, like the big fucking climax. The climax scene where he'll figure out a way to trick them into killing each other by saying, what's going to happen when one of you is superior? He's got to do it slowly, like almost James Bond License to Kill style. We're getting somewhere with the story. We're having some fun here. I like this. See, the team up is helping us. It's a shame that I must kill you, Basilic. I can almost respect the man with your powerful. Oh, he shot him right through the fucking neck here. They're all trying to blast Captain Marvel. This is wrestling. This essentially is a 4-4. It's a free-for-all match with Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic teaming up against Basilisk and Mole Man. But Mole Man and Mr. Basilisk fight against each other, and now that disappears, and Rick Jones is back. Oh, yeah. Rick Jones is sitting here in the middle of the fucking nowhere. Shouldn't he die? Breathing in paralyzing fucking gas? He's somehow altered the laser cannon settings before he's defeated. The cannon's creating an energy feedback, causing the magma pits to erupt. This cavern will collapse. In that case, I'm getting out of here. You better do the same. No, not without my precious. While the basilic vanishes beneath the great Voltan wave, let us return to the others of our cast. As a revived Spider-Man, Mr. Fantastic and the agile Rick Jones race through erupting cavern. Yeah, Molly will help you, not that you deserve it. Please help me. Wait, come back. You can't leave me here to die. Let me shoot a webbing bridge across the lava flow. Why would you let him live? He was trying to kill you and destroy the Earth. But before the web slinger can finish his sentence, the cavern shudders once more. There's nothing we can do for the mole man now. All right, good. Leave him to die. I'm not going to kill you, but I don't have to save you. The monarch of Earth's core had stood. I like that. I am the monarch of Earth's core. Let's get out of here before we join him. Back through twisting corridors, the three adventurers raced, their remarkable powers thrusting them onward till they escaped the top side. Reed, if you wouldn't mind, you'd better drop me here. Why any reason why, Rick? Well, I was out on my way to the coast when I got involved in this mess. I guess that much hasn't changed. The threat of the Alpha and Omega Stones is over. Captain Marvel has to work to do in San Francisco, but he will not forget what you have done for him, friends. Farewell until we meet again. You can see Captain Marvel next in Daredevil 107. I'm not even close on Daredevil. I'm up to Daredevil 1. True Believer, make sure you're around for Team Up time next month when the Human Torch meets the Incredible Hulk. So there's going to be no Spider-Man next month. Enough said. Spider-Man is out hanging. So when we next time do this fucking issue, it doesn't even have fucking Spider-Man in it. Don't worry about that next class. We're just about done. I want to bring this Punisher story in here because it's iconic. And it gets us our even 4. We're essentially almost done. We got to figure out what we want to say here in these 3 panels. I'm going to get some water. No, I got water. We see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. As everyone leaves, we see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. Oh, you know what? I like that. Commissioner, we see a small gesture of web float past his window, holding a cigar, indicating that he knows Spider-Man is out there. I like that. As everyone leaves, we see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. I hope you didn't forget. I hope you didn't forget the lighter. Always prepared, sir. I understand I have you to thank. As everyone leaves, we see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. I hope you didn't forget the lighter. Always prepared, sir. I understand I have you to thank. How did you fare once? How did you fare once you went back? How did you fare tonight? I understand I have you to thank. How did you fare tonight? I understand I have you to thank. Did you win the match, kid? I like that. It's kind of like a Mickey Rocky thing. I understand I have you to thank. Did you win the match, kid? Spider-Man lights. Commissioner Stacy's cigar. Afraid not, sir. These two, these two are looking. We're looking at two alpha levels. A pair of chips with a stack of chips. A stack of chips and an odd request. Like, afraid not, sir. We're looking at two alpha levels with a stack of chips and an odd request. So like that. Get to our detective speak. I'm afraid not, sir. We're looking at two alpha levels with a stack of chips and an odd request. I almost like it's just like, did you win the match, kid? As everyone leaves, see Spider-Man slowly creep into the room. I hope you didn't forget the lighter. Always prepared, sir. I understand I have you to thank. Did you win the match, kid? I'm afraid not, sir. We're looking at two alpha levels with a stack of chips and an odd request. Yeah, I was flirting with retirement. Here I was flirting with retirement. You're gonna have to break the news. You're gonna have to break the news to my daughter. But if you go near her, but if you go near her, I'm afraid not, sir. We're looking at two alpha levels with a stack of chips and an odd request. Here I was flirting with retirement. You're gonna have to break the news to my daughter. But if you go near her, we'll save that line. I like that line. It's a cute line. It's a father-daughter spot. You're giving him a father-son moment here. Although he's got it with Uncle Ben, so it's not like he needs it. He's got Uncle Ben. He shouldn't go in fucked up. So instead of the meanwhile, after several hours of recovery, we're going to say, meanwhile, after being patched up by Uncle Ben. I like that. Okay. So, I'm afraid not, sir. We're looking at 2 alpha levels, a stack of chips, and an odd request. We need to fill these last 2 to 3 panels. We had another panel here. Since it's really just him in the hospital talking to Commissioner Stacy, we could throw another panel in. If we get some interesting stories. Let's use this last issue here for the day. The debut of the Punisher. He can even tell him about Castle. Magnificent. You demolished the plastic statue in your first shot. If you do as well with the real Spider-Man, my friend, you'll have performed the world a truly great service. In a chamber room full of prying eyes all but ours, 2 men prepare for certain death of a wall-crawling hero. So this, of course, we're giving him Professor Warren, the fucking psychopath. The action on this concussion rifle is still a bit stiff. So we're bringing Castle in as a fucking sharpshooter. We're going to bring him into this scene too now. Of course, you do that, my friend. Never thought I'd get bored with this web slinging, but now I'm truly sick of it. Speaking of murder, looks like crooks in Manhattan have finally come back from summer vacation. He snaps some pictures. He fucks these guys up. We got you pegged wrong, punk. That just means you gotta take you out the hard way. Spider-Man fucks the punks up. Webs for everybody. Leave him as Christmas present. Takes the pictures. Gets the money. He's still thinking about Gwen Stacy, of course. His roommate hates him. Knows that he's the Green Goblin. Figures, all right, let me put on a good smile. There's Betty Brant. We already had her in the scene here talking to Commissioner Stacy. He kicks everybody out. Peter's got pictures. The Punisher starts to work as him. Oh, I love me some Punisher. I really want to read about some Punisher comic books. So we got the Punisher. All right, Spider Sense going off. He's got a sniper right on him. We're using Frank Castle as a sniper. I mean, a mushroom cloud. Here we go. 1 second here. We're looking at 2 alpha levels, a stack of chips, and an odd request. Means there's a leak. Means there's a leak in the department. Or the departed. Which means there's a leak in the department. Some of those mini murder bots might still be sneaking around. Which means there's a leak in the department. Because knew about those no one knew about those brains coming in. Because no one knew about those hired brains coming in. Because no one knew about those hired brains coming in. Which means there's a leak in the department. Where some of those mini murder bots might still be sneaking around. Because no one knew about those hired brains coming in. So is there a connection? And then we'll have panel 6. Spider-Man pours a large steaming mug of tea for himself as he gets set to get the commissioner up to speed. Spider-Man pours a large steaming mug for himself as he gets set to get the commissioner up to speed. So is there a connection? There's no one bit of those higher brains coming in. So is there a connection? Spider-Man will say, well, there's more than a connection. It's the center. It's the center of the bloody pyramid. But first, I'm gonna need a pint. First, I'm gonna need a pint of elixir. But first, I'm gonna. But first, I'll require a pint of your elixir. I like that. But first, I'll require a pint of your elixir. Panel 7. I say time passes. So, we show a mini time lapse of Spider-Man. I like this. Pacing around the room while going over a strategy with Commissioner Stacy while explaining their ransom demands. And can show various versions of Spider-Man pacing the room and even the ceiling while conversing with the commissioner. I like that. When Spider-Man looks back, he'll be sleeping. Well, that's how we're going to end this page. First, we'll finish this comic. You show various versions of Spider-Man pacing the room and even the ceiling while conversing with the commissioner. So they insist we provide something that no longer exists unless there's something you and I both don't know, which is hardly routine. Unless there's something you and I both don't know, which is hardly routine since the beginning of our alliance. So it boils down to what can we do to provide something that will satisfy these villains and either compromise or set a trap. So they insist we provide something that no longer exists, unless there's something you and I both don't know, which is hardly routine since the beginning of our alliance. So it boils down to what we can do to provide something that will satisfy these villains, and either compromise or set a trap. And here I was flirting with retirement. So the idea is we keep teasing the fact that he's going to die in this story, and then we don't kill him. We show a mini time lapse of Spider-Man pacing around the room while going over a strategy with Commissioner Stacy, while explaining their ransom demands. We can show various versions of Spider-Man pacing the room and even the ceiling while conversing with the Commissioner. So they insist we provide something that no longer exists, unless there's something you and I both don't know, which is hardly routine since the beginning of our alliance. So it boils down to what we can do to provide something that will satisfy these villains, and either compromise or set a trap. So they're going to set a trap. The trap, of course, is going to fall apart. Either compromise or set a trap. So it boils down to what can we do to provide something that will satisfy these villains, that will temporarily. So it boils down to what we can do to provide something that will temporarily satisfy these villains. See if there's motive beyond vengeance. Vengeance. Let's see if there's a motive beyond vengeance. Either compromise or set a trap. I'll need your best. I'll need your best guns. Unless you think they're all full of holes, or set a trap. I'll need your best guns. Unless you think they're all full of holes. Unless you think they're all full of holes. You can have Castle and DeWolf. You can have Castle and DeWolf. And here I was flirting with retirement. You're going to have to break the news to my daughter. If you go near, I'll... One more pen. Spider-Man turns to check on Commissioner Stacy. He sees that he has passed out from fatigue. He sees that he has passed out from fatigue. He's passed out after their long conversation. You can have Castle and DeWolf. And here I was flirting with retirement. You're going to have to break the news to my daughter. But if you go near her, I'll... It's like he's joking. I want you to talk to my daughter, but if you go near her, I'll kill you. He's about to say, I'll... So the idea is when we go to 15 tomorrow, 15 and 16, what I was thinking was, like, Peter looks and, like, he's passed out. What can start as a heartfelt, intended moment can change quickly once Spider-Man is about to leave and there's an attack on the commissioner's hospital room and attempted hit job. Maybe. Maybe, maybe not. We are essentially finished. SFX of the snoring of the commissioner. So let's finish this comic book and we're done. The tenement. We know that the Punisher was brought in to go after Spider-Man. And we have the debut of Frank Castle, who we're bringing into the story as a sharpshooter. We'll give him a little backstory, him and Jean DeWolf. Maybe they're both killed. Maybe Frank Castle's family's killed in this one, and Jean DeWolf is killed in this one. We'll see. You never know. We got our signals crossed. I'm not a K shoots a little spindle wire. I got nothing to lose by risking what's left of my life, wiping out your kind of parasite. Some legitimate, but all of it evil. You're all like using whatever means to get control of the public, drugs, gambling, loan shark operations. He's got to understand Spider-Man's not the bad guy, but him and the Punisher brawl, man. Underestimated Spider-Man's strength. The Jackal is watching. Time is not ripe yet for the world to learn about the Jackal. So he paralyzes Spider-Man. My negatively charged electroprods, which can also prove quite stimulating, means he jerks off. Spider-Man falls, blocks out the pain, swings in, smashes through a window. It's always a great comic book. There's a lot of action in this comic book. Great art. Reese Armors. He grabs the gun. He can follow up on the maker of the strange spear gun. There's one small problem our wall-crawling friend must attend to first. Singe with a torch. Say, that reminds me. Johnny Storm said he'd have the Spider-Mobile ready today. Oh, God, this is also about the Spider-Mobile. The movie talk about money. He's got to sew up his own uniform. Harry Osborn's listening at the door. We know that Harry's about to go, so embrace becoming the Jackal. Shut up. Unless that's my shipment. Shit. That shipment might be here. Mary Jane Watson, have you seen Peter Parker today the other day? The Vulture, what was going on? Not exactly. We might have to go get my shipment here today of my stuff. Wait, is that the oh yes, the Punisher's smacking the shit out of the Jackal. We're gonna learn the Jackal. He wants to kill everybody in New York. He's a criminal. It matters, friend. We're bringing the Punisher into our story, so that's what we got out of this issue. I'm going to see the mechanic. I want to replace that wire gun. The mechanic, of course, was brought into the series, the Netflix series. Reese Armors. Okay, so he goes to Reese Armors. He's going to track down the mechanic. Frank Castle's following him. Mr. Reese, he's going to come in here. Don't you ever quit. He's going to fuck this guy up. Then he realizes, I'm not the one, Reese. You killed him too. I didn't kill Reese, you piece of shit. Somebody else killed Reese. Kyle Reese. To win for it's me. Forgive me for being so rough, friend, but I was pretty sure I wouldn't beat you by using kid gloves. Lord in heaven, those marks like claw marks, which means the Jackal killed your fucking mechanic, asshole. He killed the old man, so you'd be found with him. Oh, so Punisher's like, dude, I'm gonna fuck the Jackal up. They used me to fucking kill you. What did I tell you? This just isn't my week. So the Jackal is a manipulator. Punisher's gonna find the Jackal and fucking break his fucking jaw. The Jackal seems like he sticks around for a while, so maybe the Punisher doesn't succeed. We gotta start reading more fucking Punisher comics. It's a great story, but we pretty much got our 2 pages. And the way it finishes out is essentially Jackal tricks the Punisher into try to kill Spider-Man. He sees that Spider-Man's not a piece of shit. And that brings back Hammerhead and all these people that Jackal manipulates. We can even bring the Jackal into this fucking story. He could be a third party. There's so much to do and so little time. Actually, no, we have plenty of time. We got 4 more chapters to fill after this. But we are done today Well, pages 13 and 14, that is the class. I hope you enjoyed the writing session today. Peace, love, and war. All that shit in between.